We're told to set deadlines. Make 100 grand in a year. Become a champion in 12 months. And yeah, that's great. Goals do give us direction, don't they? But what happens when the deadline passes and you're not quite there yet? Do you quit? Do you feel like a failure? You should keep going until the result is real. In this episode, then, you'll learn the power of setting a deadline but refusing to be limited by it. By the end of the episode, you'll never see a missed deadline as defeat again. Because let's be real, we all set deadlines, don't we? Oh, my new business is going to make 100 grand this year. I'll lose 10 kilos in 3 months. I'll be a national champ within 12 months. These timelines can fuel us. They focus the mind. They give us urgency. But what if you get to the finish line and you're still not there, if that makes sense? Does that mean you failed? No, it means the clock lied. The vision is still valid, but the timeline was human-made, wasn't it? Maybe you just got your timeline wrong. Maybe your progress isn't as fast as it should be, but you will get there in the end. The outcome still matters more than the schedule. Champions don't walk away because the deadline passed. Champions adjust, reload, and continue because they're in it until it works. Deadlines are powerful because they activate focus. It's called Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time given. So if you say, I'll launch in 12 months, you'll likely use all 12 months. But if you say, I'll launch in 30 days, your brain compresses decision making and action becomes essential. So yes, use deadlines. They kickstart momentum and they add structure. But here's the twist. Don't get emotionally attached to them. Don't make the mistake of thinking, if it didn't happen by this day, it wasn't meant for me. Because that's not truth. That's fear in disguise. So let's paint a picture. One of the earlier examples, you're building this business, you tell yourself, I want to make 100 grand in 12 months. You hustle, you learn, you invest, you grow. But 12 months pass and you've made 40k. You've got a choice. Do you say, well, I guess I'm not cut out for this? Or do you say, well, I've made 40k. It's better than what I would have been doing otherwise. And this is my warm-up. Now I've learnt X, Y, and Z, and it's now time to go ahead. Go ahead or go again. And this 100 grand is still my target, and it will happen. Maybe it didn't happen this year, but it will happen next year. If it didn't happen next year, it will happen at some point. I'm determined and focused towards this goal. Because here's the truth. Most people underestimate how long greatness takes. Colonel Sanders didn't sell KFC until his 60s. Morgan Freeman didn't become a household name until his 50s. Elon Musk didn't make Tesla profitable until years after its launch. The timeline is just a tactic. The mission is the truth. You should think until, not by. This is how high performers think. I want to be a world-class fighter by 2026. If I'm not, guess what? I'm still showing up in 2027 and 2028 and beyond. Until it happens. That's the mindset that creates inevitability. You don't win because your deadline was accurate. You win because you refuse to stop when it passed. Let's use another metaphor. The deadline is your GPS route. But if there's a detour, a storm, or traffic, do you throw your keys out the window? If you take an hour and a half to go on an hour journey, do you stop and turn round? No. You reroute and you keep driving. You're going to get there. End of story. So here's what I want you to do today. Set a deadline. Make it bold. 100k in 12 months. Black belt in 2 years. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever lights you up. Chase it with the urgency. Go all in. But when the deadline hits, ask yourself, am I willing to keep going until the outcome happens? Because success doesn't always arrive on schedule. But instead it does arrive for people who refuse to start walking. That's how you separate the dabblers from the doers, the tourists from the titans. Don't just aim to win by a date. Aim to keep going until you win. So think about that. You need to keep going. Set your goals, whatever they are, and set a deadline. But understand, if they don't happen in the deadline, you're going to keep going until it happens. Regardless, you're going to keep working out until you get a six-pack. Even if it didn't happen in 12 months, you're going to keep starting businesses until one of them hits. You're going to keep approaching girls until one of them says yes. You're going to keep fighting until you win the championship. Just remember, the outcome is more important than the deadline.